Okay, guys, good evening. It is Tuesday, August 2nd, about 10 p.m. New York time, and just want to make a quick video. I know I haven't made one in a while, but I got a few requests to do one. So I'm not going to be doing all the pairs the way I used to. That's not the way I trade anymore. Anyways, I've really kind of gone back to what I was doing really well, and that is to focus on Elliott Wave with the news to help me with timing. So again, I'm not a news trader, I'm an Elliott Wave trader, but I use the news to time my entries and exits. So if the patterns agree and it looks like there's an end of a trend or the end of a correction that could be coming as a result of news, at that point I will consider a trade. Okay, so um, so just wanted to look at the pound pairs, and so looking at coming news. So tomorrow morning we have construction PMI. Nope, sorry, that was today. We have services PMI tomorrow morning. Now they're not expecting any change on this, but overall, I don't think this is really going to do much. It may have a small corrective move on the market because I think the market's going to be waiting for this, which is on Thursday. It's a much larger event, and this is the GBP, the Great British Pound Inflation Report, the bank rate vote, which is expected to go back to a 9-0 vote, in monetary policy summary statement, and the official bank rate, which they're expecting right now a cut. Now, the Bank of England does have a history of trying to pull a fast one, so now they're predicting a cut. Now, if they don't cut, then the pound's going to rally. It might rally anyways. I don't know. We'll have to see what the patterns look like probably this time tomorrow night. But this is, like I said, either way is the much bigger event versus this services PMI, which I don't think will have much of an effect no matter how it comes out. So that's the news. So going to look at the patterns. So here's the Euro GBP, which of course is inversely correlated to the pound pairs, and this is setting up for a C wave down. So we have this. It looks like it's, I don't think this is the C wave down yet, although we have this move down right now. This is the Asian session here. Actually, this is not the Asian session. This is the Asian session here. So, I do think that this will go back up. The CCI is going down, spread apart. So, I don't think this is the end of it. So going back out again, this is an A, B, and then, services PMI might come out. However it comes out, let's say it comes out negative for the pound, that'll cause us to rally again on the Euro GBP. And then maybe on Thursday, if the news is positive for the pound, we'll see this sell off. So that's setting up in the inverse, and all of the pound pairs are setting up basically for a long. So here's the pound Kiwi on the 4-hour chart. This was the Brexit decline over here, and now we're in an AB. We're in a nice finishing a B pattern here to go up for C. Now we have this little breakout right here above this trend line. I don't think this is really the beginning. This could be the beginning of the C wave up. Maybe when the services PMI comes out tomorrow, it's negative, and then if you go to a lower time frame, maybe that pushes this back down, goes back to retest this trend line, and then we bounce higher on Thursday. But either way, I'm not trading this long right now, even with this little thing going on here. Alright, sorry for that interruption, if you couldn't tell. So anyways, so with the British pound, Kiwi, again, we have this little move starting up here, but I'm not looking to trade this long at this point, whether this is a false breakout or just the beginning of this uptrend. So pound yen looks pretty much the same way. Here we are on the 4-hour chart. Here's your A, this long extended B wave down, and I think this has a little bit more downside to go. This looks like a tiny little correction. So again, maybe Services PMI is negative, and this drops off again. But I think we will be setting up for a long C wave here. All right. Pound Swiss, same story. I actually did take a technical long here today on the breakout right here. This was trending down. This is clearly a correction here. And so I actually took a long here, which I'm still in. I'll be looking to exit that. Looks like it's starting to go back up. I'm looking for one more push up, about the same length as this, however long this is. This is a 1 hour chart, so maybe around 50 pips from this low, and that's where I'll be looking to get out. And so that may happen around the time of the news tomorrow, and then perhaps we go and correct down and then set up for the long on Thursday potentially. So but that's purely a technical trade, but again has pretty much the same look as the other ones. Pound Canadian looks a little bit different because it's kind of drifting upwards instead of downwards like the other ones. But and again, we had this move up here. I'm not ready to say this is the breakout yet. I do think this will probably correct down, and then this was a nice strong move up, kind of like the Pound Swiss. But I do think we'll see this kind of drift down in a corrective fashion, and then again potentially Thursday go up. So I didn't take this trade. I won't be taking any longs on this pair at this time. So Pound Aussie, same way. Pound dollar, same way. Again, same little breakout here. But I'm not long on this right now. So, all right. So, yeah. So that's the way it looks, guys, for these pound pairs. For other news, let's see. So I'll probably make another video maybe tomorrow night and kind of see where we're at that point after tomorrow's action. So during the early Asian session tomorrow, maybe make a new video and see how this is setting up for Thursday. Okay. And so for other news tomorrow, being Wednesday, we have U.S. dollar ADP non-farm payroll change. I know they still put this as a red level news. This should not be red level. It really doesn't have any impact anymore because on Friday is the non-farm payroll and average hourly earnings, which is much more important. The only thing I like to see this for is it can be a nice precursor to what you might see on Friday. So they're expecting a slight dip in new job numbers, and if you see for Friday, they're expecting a pretty big decline over the prior month. So it'll be interesting to see how this comes out. But it really doesn't move the market. It's really just like I said, can be a nice precursor to Friday. So, and for the same reason, I don't think ISM non-manufacturing PMI will do anything. But you never know. It's worth looking at patterns. Same thing with crude oil. This may have more of an impact on the Canadian dollar. So maybe a pair like the U.S. Canadian might see some impact from this. But again, for the U.S. dollar, they're really waiting for Friday. So, but it might be worth looking at. So, this tomorrow night, this Aussie retail sales, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, New York time tomorrow. This is important news for the Aussie. So, and in light of the rate cut they took yesterday, this will be important. So, I probably will do a video maybe before this news comes out tomorrow. Kind of look at the Aussie pairs and see where we're at there, and then maybe do another quick rundown on where we're at with the pound. Okay, so and to note on the pound, they are forecasting a rate cut of 25 basis points. So, but the Bank of England sometimes likes to mess around with the market, and they'll forecast this and they'll end up holding it steady. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So, so we're looking here at this bank rate vote. So what this means is, that they're forecasting a 9-0 vote to lower rates. Okay, and last month, the last time they put this out, it was only one person voting to lower and 8 um, to stay the same. Actually, make sure that's, yeah, first number is to increase, second number is to decrease, and third is to hold. Okay, right. So this time they're expecting 9-0 to decrease. Last time they were at 8-1 to hold. So that's where they're coming up with this forecasted cut. But we'll see what they do. And I will go by the patterns and see what happens after the action tomorrow, leading into this. So anyway, should be interesting. But that's it for now, guys. And like I said, I'll try to make another video tomorrow night for an update on this, and also to look at the Aussie news. Okay? That's it, guys. Have a good night.